Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars. On hot7025fm.com. Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California's sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale. Chicka, 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 ticka, ah. Yeah, it's another Wednesday, so you know what time it is. It's time to HOLLA, ATTHA, HOMIE. It's time to holler at the homie, y'all, with the homie 360, the poet. He is I, and I am him. And as always, I'm probably going to see my homeboy Slim with the tilted brim again. That's how we do it out here in these streets, man. And speaking of out in these streets, man, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all a little something about I hope y'all got a more comfortable atmosphere slash comfortable type weather outside, because our weather is disrespectful. Yeah, living live, you know what it is. I'm refreshing out here. Refreshing out here in these streets. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure y'all big up to shout out to the homie Jason Smooth. This is Smooth, somebody motivated on overcoming the hardships is what this one stands for out here in these streets. And y'all know what that one up there for. You dig? You know what it is. We in this thing like a wedgie, y'all. We back like a fresh pot of cooked crack. You know that's E. Carice's favorite statement that I make every time we come back on this thing, because she still don't understand what it means, but I do. And those of y'all that know, you know. And if you don't know, then you ain't meant to know. And that's how it go. You dig? So let me give me a little squig of water out here, because like I said, it's hot. It's hotter than the camel's ass outside. Ooh, wait, that was... Man, let me tell y'all about these double wall. If y'all ain't got you hear how my whole voice changed, like my whole centered, you dig? So that was in itself like refreshing than a mug, Who else out there still say than a mug? Because some people say than a mug, than a mug, like than a mob. And there's so many different ways, because you don't want to say it's refreshing than a mother. You know, because as a kid, you couldn't say that. You know, kids nowadays, they say whatever the Hello Kitty they want to say. You know, that's how they get down out here in these streets nowadays. These kids just say whatever, whenever, wherever, whatever they want to. I wouldn't have no teeth. You know, I wouldn't have no teeth if I talked how these kids be talking out here. Ooh, that hurt a little bit. I hit my toe. Man, I can't be doing that. I'm too close to being back on my two-step. I'm one and a half stepping out here right now. I'm almost back to my full. I got my drink and my two-step. I'm almost back to it. Again, big up to Jason Smooth for someone motivated on overcoming the hardships. Because that's what we do out here. When you hollering at the homie, we trying to overcome the hardships of sometimes how people are able to react and, you know, the things. Because this is your number one advice line / online or live and in person. You can always call us up at 702-551-5261. That's how you hit the hotline. Or you can hit me up right now on _ 360 the poet on Instagram, or hit us up on hot7025fm.com or on the Facebook, right? On Facebook. I keep saying on the Facebook. I'm sounding old, man. I'm starting to sound old. Anytime you put the in front of a social media, that's on the Instagram or that's on the Facebook, you entering into the old people talk at that point. So I'm trying to stop the old people talk. I'm trying to get back into the talk that I know how to do. And because I ain't old yet. I stress yet, but I'm going to try to keep getting there, because the opposite of not getting old is not being here. You dig? Oh, man, that water be so refreshing. Oh, man, why? I ain't learned to appreciate water till I was grown, right? You know, as a kid, you know, even though we had the best water hose water, like you got to think, like the best water in the neighborhood used to come out of a certain neighbor's water hose, like, and it's usually the water hose that's bent on the side that can't fit like a nozzle on it. So that means it's really gonna be good. So because it's never got like a nozzle on it, so you don't get that kickback residual water in there. All the water come out, it go into a big ass puddle on the side of the house. Like all of y'all that remember drinking out the water hose, y'all are G to me, because y'all part of my era. These kids nowadays, all they got is bottled water. And now the water that come out the water hose, I'm scared of it. I'm scared, especially the water out here in Vegas. The water out here in Vegas is it's something special. The water out here is when it come out the water hose or when it come out the sink, it's a little hard. It's you get in, you shout ashy in the shower. That's how hard the water is out here in Vegas. So anybody that move out here, first of all, don't. It's enough people that moved out here enough. If you want to come visit, hey, that's cool, because that means you got a destination other than here, adding to the traffic and the prices is going up out here. But if you come, be ready to bring like some baby oil gel or some real good lotion like the Jergens. That's what I rock with, the Jergens, the almond cherry scent. Needing some more because my bottle's turned upside down right now. But because you got to get all the Jergens, you can't let that slide. I need everything around that rim and everything. I need all that. But you know, anyway, getting off on a tangent. We're talking about the hard water. But we're not even talking about that either. I want to welcome y'all back into another episode of Holla at the Homie. Today, what we're gonna do is I'm your host 360, and like I said, we're gonna dive into what I call a heartfelt. Because again, I want to say big ups, big props to everybody that takes the time out to either write in, to either email me, anybody. What's up, Mara? What's going on, Sterling? What's happening with y'all? Good to see both of y'all in the building. Lucy Lowe, 78, always good to see you in the building, babe. But anybody that takes the time out to either tune in, tap in any way, shape, form, or fashion, right? Whether you send me an email at hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. If you got my phone number, I've had people text me. I got a few of them in the pow, 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 backed up. I got a few of them, some hitters backed up, because I just didn't want to keep going all relationships in a row, because that's what most people call me up about relationships. They figure mine is okay, or they think it's maybe successful, so they usually hit me about relationships. But I got people hit me about all kind of stuff, because again, I must confess that I am neither trained and or have never paid any tuition of any sort to become a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist or not even a counselor. I'm not certified in any of those things, right? But what I am is more like a life coach. I can coach you through your life because I've experienced things in my life that are really, really well-rounded. That's where the name 360 came from, because I've been around the world and and I'm full circle. It's nothing that I don't touch, that I don't complete. So that's where that comes from. But also, I've been fortunate enough to be around people who got a lot of life experience, and they've allowed me to sponge some of that up so I can bring it back and ring it to y'all. Bring it and ring it. So I'm bringing some of that back to y'all as well, because that's where a lot of my information comes from, through either my life or vicariously living through the lives of others as they get down, right? So we're going to dive into this, what I call a heartfelt letter from a groomsman, and he's grappling. He's grappling. He's got mixed feelings about, he's got a friend's wedding that's coming up, and you know what? I'm not even gonna talk about it. But wait. Before we jump into the topic, let's introduce the topic, right? So many of us experience so many different emotional tug of wars, right? So what I mean by that is when you're going back and forth with something on the inside of you, whether it's close friends or anything like that, especially when it comes to them getting married. On one hand, you feel like you're thrilled for them, right? And then you wish them all the happiness in the world. But on the other hand, it might feel like you got a sense of loss, like you're losing somebody, like your wingman, your wing woman, your partner in crime, right? So we're going to open up this conversation, and we're going to explore different ways to kind of handle those emotions. So I want to make sure we stay pinpointed on what we're talking about today, because we're going to work on those emotions, because it's something that a lot of us have all been through, right? Ooh, that AC felt good kicking in. It's something that a lot of us have been through. So, it's not foreign. So that's why we appreciate this forum, to be able to come together and give our pieces on what we feel about the situation, right? So here it is. Dear homie, I find myself in a bit of a predicament, and I'm hoping you can offer some words of wisdom. My best friend is getting married soon, and I couldn't be happier for him. We've been through thick and thin together, and I genuinely want him to have all the happiness in the world. However, I'm struggling with some mixed emotions that are making it hard for me to fully celebrate. You see, ever since we became friends, we've been each other's wingman. I understand that. We've navigated the ups and downs of single life together, and it's always been sort of an unspoken pact between us. And now that he's found the love of his life and he's settling down, I can't help but feel like I'm losing my partner in crime. I know it sounds selfish, and I don't want to be that way in any. Let me rewind. I know it sounds selfish, and I don't want to be that way, but these feelings are bubbling up. I want to stand by his side on his big day with a genuine smile, but I'm afraid these conflicting emotions might show. How can I reconcile my happiness for him with the sense of loss I'm experiencing? I don't want to be either a downer or in the midst of his. I don't want to be a downer in the midst of his joyous occasion. Have you seen situations like this before? What advice can you give me to work through these emotions and have the support of friend, to be the supportive friend he deserves? Thank you for your wisdom and guidance. Sincerely, conflicted groomsman. First of all, conflicting groomsman, thank you for saying I got wisdom and guidance. Thank you for that. That means you done tapped in. What's up, Twin J2? Good to see you in the building. Another one of our regulars in the building. But we got a good one today, y'all. Like I say, this is something that a lot of us have grappled with before, right? So it's not like it's something new or something that is a make-believe situation. Like that scenario would never occur, because a lot of us have experienced it, So again, I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts on this particular situation. But transitioning from the role of a wingman to a more independent position in a friend's life can be challenging, right? There we go. That's what I'm saying. Smooth Cats. What's up, dog? Appreciate y'all. Good to have y'all in the building. Sponsored the shirt today. I got it from I ain't gonna tell everybody where I got it from, because they be checking out my movements, but I talked to Smooth earlier today and I told him where I got it from. But like I was saying, transitioning to the position of a independent position in a friend's life, when you've been going and y'all been kindred spirits, transitioning into that it can be challenging, right? And let me assure you that your feelings are valid. First of all, let me tell you, what you feeling, Mr. Conflicted Groomsman, your feelings are valid. And it's completely natural to have these mixed emotions, especially when it comes to a wedding, right? Your concerns stem from, like, the biggest thing that come from me in my eyes are the fear of change and the uncertainty of how the relationship will evolve, right? So that's what I feel like you're experiencing. You're experiencing the fear of change, and that change in itself, but change is one thing it's constant in life, and it often brings about growth opportunities, you know, for both you and for and your homeboy, right? So it's growth. It's whenever something's changing, is metamorphing into something different, like that cocoon. You know, the butterfly went in as a caterpillar, comes out of that cocoon and it's a butterfly, right? So that change had to happen. So while some of the caterpillars was getting snatched up and they getting thrown back in the sea because it's more fish in the sea, this one actually got cocooned up, and now he's turned out and blossomed into what up, Barbara Joe? Turned into a butterfly, right? So that change is a chance for like the fear of it is coming from the uncertainty, because you don't know what that relationship is going to evolve into, right? So like first you got to understand what does evolve mean? What does it mean to evolve? Like to undergo an evolutionary change, meaning a new beginning, right? But that new beginning, the first thing I want to tell you is that because it's the beginning of something new, doesn't mean that it has to be the end of something old, per se. You know what I mean by that? Like part of the old is what made these two people fall for one another anyway, so part of that's still going to be there. You just have to together figure out what role you play in that all or in that old, because you know if you know if you're truly a part of a tribe of one another, because it's different from having friends and being part of a tribe, right? A tribe, you know, your friends are people that, you know, y'all kick it, y'all come together like armpits, stuff like that, and y'all don't really miss, you know. But a tribe, when you got your tribe is there when you falling off, when you missing stuff, when they celebrating you. People, because it's hard to find people to celebrate these types of transitions in your life, right? Because that's up to you, conflicted groomsmen, to be able to celebrate this transition, right? Your friend's wedding is a significant milestone in his life. So, you know, instead of focusing on, like I said, when you were part of a tribe, the things you would focus on, instead of focusing on like what you might be losing, I want you to look more about and celebrate the happiness that he's found. Because, you know, apparently if y'all been rocking like that for so long together, like y'all got some happiness together, y'all got some moments together, y'all got some memories together, right? So, like, if y'all rock like that, y'all got some love for one another. So, if you see somebody getting more love, because when you get more love, that's more love for you to give out to fill your love tank back up for others who may not be receiving it in the world, and you could be a sprinkler for them. So now he's getting more and more love, getting filled up with more and more love, and he can be a sprinkler for you even. You got to think of it like that. And within that, if you celebrate his transition, then that'll make it easier. Let me see. Somebody said, let's define wingman. Maybe it's not the definition I have. Okay, so let me give it to you. Like, your wingman is the person, like, wingman, like, it started off as just somebody, like, who would talk to the ugly chick. Like, that's what it started off as, your wingman. But your wingman is really, it came from Top Gun. Like, you know, Maverick and Goose, you know, it came from Top Gun. That's your wingman, the person that's got your side. Like, they got your 9 and your 12. I mean, they got your 9 and your 3, you know, if you got your 6 and 12. You know, you looking in front of you, looking behind you, your wingman is on your side. He got you all over here. Everything over here he got. He looking in front too. So y'all looking at the same scope. So, in metaphorically speaking. So in real life, your wingman is somebody who's going to be there for you to ride out with you. Y'all traveling together. Is somebody who you you know, at times, like, they may take the hit. Like, you see somebody you liking and they got a friend that's not really cooperating with it, and it's probably because they really don't, one of these kids is doing their own thing. They take that hit for you. The boring friend, or the difficult friend, or the not so, you know, part of this, you know, tribe friend, you know, whatever the case may be, your wingman is the one who's got you covered. And this person, Mr. Conflicted Groomsman, is feeling as if, you know, his last wingman, or his wingman of all wingmen, is leaving his side. Like, he feels like he's no longer got his wing. But what I look at it as, you know, and I say it, and again, I never tell anybody what to do. I just give you
things that can be done. I give you examples of things that could be done, or things, ways, perspectives, things can be looked at as, right? And what I mean by that is, like, what I look at it is now, if he celebrates this transition into, because now the wingman has a wing woman. So now, not only, because eventually what you need to do is be able to, like, you'll create new memories with this opportunity to create new memories with this new wing woman. Now, she may be wing from a wing adjacent, but she's still looking out over the same scope with you, depending on what area y'all fighting, if y'all all together. Because if they like this person that you love, like if they love this person that you love, y'all have something in common. Y'all love the same person. It's just different ways. They love them romantically, where you love them as like your brother, your dog, like, when it's a different feeling, like when you're, because I still got a couple of homeboys that's not married at the moment. So when it come down to the last one, what's going on, CJ? When it come down to the last one, Chicago in the building. When it come down to the last one of my homeboys that's not married, I know one of them gonna have an issue. One of them is gonna have an issue. Depending on which one the last one to get married. Probably, but the way it's looking, what's going on, Double E? The way it's looking is it might be K Solo, the last one to be solo. But I don't know. He catching up. He catching up to Al Rich. But I doubt it, because Al Rich probably be down the aisle next. But yeah, I only got a couple homeboys that ain't married yet. The rest of us is out here linked up. What up, Joe Chi-Town? Robert Cool Collar in the building. That's one of my homeboys in another circle that got married. The last one to get married. Me, him, and Dave. He was the last one out of us three to get married. Nisi Pooh in the building, Tory Lane. But again, if you take this time to celebrate this transition, I know, huh? I thank you. I appreciate that. I hope looking the same is looking all right. I appreciate that, CJ. Like, if Mr. Conflicted Groomsman, if you take this time to celebrate this transition, it gives you an opportunity to create new memories, right? Your dynamic might change just a little bit, because when you marry somebody, you forsaken everybody else but your wife, right? But that doesn't mean that your friendship has to fade away. Create new memories together, whether it's exploring new hobbies, going to new places, but just make sure, like, just when they get married, this is one thing. I hope that y'all half pint, you stupid. This is one thing I hope that y'all do. Whenever people that y'all rock with get married, don't just leave them. Make sure to catch up regularly, because they may have just jumped into something that's confusing to them. It's a whole whirlwind, and they want something that they can relate to that feels more realistic in their mind. So check in with the homies every now and then. Like, once they get married, I ain't saying call him every day. But you may, if y'all were talking like that, if y'all business partners or something like that, okay, cool, I get all that. But I'm saying, like, every now and then when your homie get married, when your homegirl get married, call and check in. Be like, what's up? Just checking in on you. I'm checking your temperature. I know the lights and stuff is on at the crib, but, how's it feel today? You feeling just as good today as the last time I checked in on you? It's okay to do that. Because most of the time, people are not going to just come to you like, man, let me talk to you. Because even though they just got married, it's not all euphoria in the beginning. But it's not all bullshit in the beginning either, though. You got to think about it like that. It's not all BS in the beginning either. So when you evaluating, when you checking in on them, think about what you're going to say. Have a conversation ready. Do some homework, on something, like, be interested in other people's lives other than yourself about how it's going to feel to you. Damn, that water good. But that's something you got to think about. So celebrating the transition, making new memories. Like I always say, communication is key. Meaning, like, when you talking to somebody, make sure you talking, like, you listening to absorb what they're saying, opposed to listening to be ready to jump in like double dutch and say what your point is. Like, that's not communication. That's just talking. That's not even conversing. That's just talking at one another, right? But if you communicating with someone, this your man's, right? It's your homie. Put him to the side. Be like, hey, bruh, let him know. Like, look, I'm super duper thrilled. I'm pumped up. I'm on your team. Like, I'm excited for you, right? You know, but I'm also nostalgic about the old days. You know, meaning like I've got some sort of attachment in here to the old days. Not saying like we got to bring them back, but I want you to know I'm happy for you, your present and your future. But just know, like, you know, part of me is still holding on to a part of you that was there. Because I know all of that's not leaving you. This is what you got to say to your friend, Mr. Conflicted Groom. Excuse me. It's not what you have to say. It's something that you could say. Again, I never tell anybody what to do. I just tell you what can be done. What I'm saying is, like, you got to be able to talk to him, communicate with him in a way that but then when you respond to him, when you tell him that, be ready to receive what he says. He may be like, yeah, I know, man, but being around you kind of brings me back to the old person that I need to grow and move forward. Not saying we can't hang, but we can't hang like we used to. He may respond with that. You got to be ready for that response. He may respond with like, dang, bro, I never knew you felt that way. You know what? We'll make it a regular thing. Every week, every 10 days, 2 weeks or so, we go shoot some pool. We, go play some golf, whatever the case may be, whatever it is y'all do together, that the nostalgia is connecting y'all still from the days of yesteryear. Because chances are he might be feeling similar and mixed emotions about where to go with y'all relationship. Think about it like that. Sometimes you got to be able to. It's easier said than done. Being able to pull yourself from a situation and kind of look at how it's playing out in front of you. But if you have that ability to kind of really, and that's really just putting planning into the conversation that you're having, not scripted or anything like that. What's up, Britt? Not scripted. Have a scripted conversation, because the moment you try to stick to a script and it goes off tangent, then you've lost all of your communication. The lanes of communication. Lucy Lowe said he's gaining a sister and she might be fun, or she might have friends. This is true. That's another thing. And I'm pretty sure, like, if they to the point where they getting married, that you done met some of her friends. Now, come on, man. Or she might have a fine-ass sister or something. If that's your dog, then hey, bro, damn, I met my dog. We just, me and such and such gonna meet y'all on a double date, Now, but if you do that, be ready for all they advice to you. Well, that, the way we did it was. Now, I ain't trying to do the way y'all did it. Y'all got married. Y'all married too quick. I just want to be out here in these streets and hang around the homie. But you never know. What's up, D. Windsor? You know what I mean? He might, Lucy said he might like the groom. And that's a possibility too. He may be in love with him the same way the wife is in love with him. But again, that didn't come across in the letter as if he was in love with him that way, but it did leave it kind of open for interpretation. It said they became each other's wingman and navigated through the ups and downs of single life together. And it's always been sport of an unspoken pact. That's the thing, like the unspoken pact of it all. If we spend more time talking to each other about like, damn, what, because guys, we're not going to sit around and talk like, man, what you going to be like when you get married? We're not going to have that conversation. It's not going to happen. It would be great for y'all if we could. Somebody said Martin Nicole said she was thinking the same thing, that he might like the groom. This is true. He might. Again, he might. You never know. You never know. But the thing about it is you got to look at it as if, even if that's what his feelings are, he still has to find a way to suppress them, or at least navigate them to where they're able to be understood by him and the groom. However you feel. What up, Click Shell? Glad to see you joined in. So to recap to those people that's just joining us, we got a conflicted groomsman is what he calls himself. And he feels like he's losing his wingman. Said his homeboy getting married, and he don't know how to tell him, like, he not feeling the greatest about it. He doesn't know how to say, like, what his feelings are as far as, like, damn, I feel like I'm happy for you, but I feel like I'm losing my last homeboy, like, right? So, what we've been talking to him about is, one of the first things is you got to be able to understand, like, the fear behind it all is the uncertainty of the change that this is going to bring in y'all friendship dynamic. right? And by doing that, by looking into that, you got to think of it like every new beginning doesn't mean an ending of the old. It just means like a transition and how we're going to navigate through the old things that still work here in the present, moving towards in the future. And by doing that, you got to be able to celebrate the transition. We talked about that, being able to get behind it, let him know, like, instead of focusing on what he might be losing, celebrate the happiness that his friend has found. Excuse me there. Another thing we talked about is like being able to create these new memories. You never know what he might be gaining. Exactly. See, Click Shell said it just when I was saying it. We were talking about it earlier. Lucy Lowe said, you never know. You may be gaining a sister, maybe gaining some friends of the friend. Never know what you gaining. Another wing woman. That's what most of the listeners are talking about right now. You don't knock it till you at least try it. That one thing I would say that I would tell you to do is don't knock it until you try it. Check out what, because, me getting married, I was able to gain some of the friends like, that my wife has, so now and my friends realize that they be, snickering at little bullshit without me even knowing what they talking about. Like, them and they wives, and I be on the outside of the inside joke, so you never know what type you may be picking up another wing woman. And with that wing woman comes more protection, comes more exposure, comes more everything that you might be looking for. Because if they are into that person that you are into as a friend that way, and they love that friend, then just think about it. Like that you love them too. Y'all got something in common. So just don't knock it until you try it. Click Shell says, just date your friend's sister and y'all will be boys forever. Hey, I've seen people do it. I've seen people like, man, listen, sometimes you want to date the homie's cousin, they friend, they be like, I know how you are. Get your ass out my sister's face. And I get that. I get it. I understand it because when you're a wing man, wing woman, y'all know where the bodies is buried, right? But when I got married and I picked up Kareen, I picked up Mila, like, I picked up some real G's on my squad. Like, what I'm saying? These people like business-minded people, Alicia Banks, like, I picked up a lot of killers on my squad, like Randy, like, so I wasn't too upset about, me not gaining more wing persons on my side, but then that was me. I was the groom. So I'm hoping that my friends feel like they gain more of a wing woman as well, because, my wife, she don't interfere with us, what we got going on. Maya, leave us be. She don't bother us at all. She really, really don't. Like, and if she did, I probably wouldn't say it online, but she don't. So I'm saying that online. But, so again, celebrate the transition. Be on his side. Let him know how you feel, because growth and maturity for both of y'all, and embrace that change. Embrace the change, the growth and maturity that both of y'all are going through, because it takes the maturity to get beyond this. You got to shed the skin of like the jealousy or the envy and anything like that, and then morph into something different. You got to come out of that cocoon, evolve into something new as a friend. Because your friend is evolving into new as something, as a man, as a person, as a husband. Because a husband is to be a protector and a provider. Same definition as a father, to be a protector and a provider, right? So now he got to protect his household, whether that's mentally, physically, spiritually, however he going to put his covering over that and own up to his title, right? So now you, as a friend of that protector and a provider, you are an extension of that. If they have kids, they're going to call you uncle. They ain't gonna call you Uncle Conflicted Groomsman. They just gonna call you Uncle whatever your name is. So think about that. Even though y'all may not be blood brothers, y'all bonded by friendship. We just found out the other day that I just found out the other day that the phrase blood is thicker than water was actually the opposite, saying like, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the same womb that you came out of. Like, so like when you make a blood bond with somebody, like a blood brother bond, that's a tighter covenant than the people that you share the womb with. So that's what that saying was all about. So not to go off on a tangent, but you got to embrace this and celebrate the transition, right? You about to make new memories with you, the friend, the wife, all of that. Y'all gonna have all type of new memories, especially in today's times. People love traveling together. Like, couple trips is the shit. Like, I love them most of the time. All except for New Year's Eve 2022 going into 23. That was the worst couples trip ever. Ever. Anyway, nevertheless, I digress. But another thing you got to think about. This is an opportunity for you too, Mr. Conflicted Groomsman. An opportunity for you to embrace the independence. Meaning like while your friends role in your life, while your role in your friend's life might change, right? It doesn't mean you gotta like just throw in the towel and give up and, you know, on your own independence or your own fun experiences, or like use this time. Use this, right? What you said, Mara. Use this time, like, you know, to focus on like some other stuff, some new interests, some new hobbies, meet new people, go new places. One of the big things people doing a lot right now, which kind of scares me, is traveling alone. You know, I've never done that. Well, I've traveled to some places like on my solo and just got there and just clicked up with other people that were there. But I've never really just traveled abroad on my own. And now I don't think I'll be able to, because where I'm going to go, she ain't going. If it's an umbrella drink and some palm trees, her ass is right there with me. But, you know, nevertheless, I digress. Like, embrace this independence for you. You know, now that this, you know, your friends getting married and they go into a different part of their life, like, embrace this independence that you are now having. Like, you get a chance to be like, man, let me tell y'all about this trip I just went on. Thailand was the shit, you know, or Bali was the shit. Whatever. Stamp your passport. Stamp your passport now that you have the independence, especially since you don't have a wing person. Now it's time to flap your own wings. What's up? What's going on, Nora Karma? How you doing there, Chris? Good to see you, baby girl. She said, we outside. We outside. Yeah, we outside. Everybody outside, but you outside. People can be outside by themselves is what I'm saying. Embrace that independence. Take some time to, you know, live by yourself, per se, in the world. Be by yourself. And not in a lonely type way. I don't want you to be lonely. Lonely ain't a good look. But independence is an amazing look and feeling. Because, you know, you can tell when somebody on a trip by themselves or if they're on a trip independently. Well, you don't know how to tell? Look at it like this. Somebody that's on a trip independently, they got stuff booked. They got things planned. You know what I mean? It's all of those things are involved, right? With somebody that's independently. Somebody that's on a trip by themselves, they usually in your conversation at the bar, they usually, you know, yeah, they're alone. They usually by the pool with a book, but they really not looking at the book. They really look at everything that's going on in the pool. But like somebody that's independently, they really got a book by the pool, or they listen to an audio book while they tan. They ain't even thinking about who in the damn pool. You know, it's a difference between somebody traveling alone and somebody traveling independent. Click Shell said, get a new hobby or activity, or you'll meet new people like you know, like this too. And that's the thing. When you get a chance to be by yourself, right? Independently, not alone. To independently be by yourself versus being lonely. When you are doing that, then your mind is open to more things. You see more things. Things smell different. They taste different. When you get a chance to explore for the sake of exploring, now that I've done. But I've done that on trips with the homies back in the day, and they ain't want to do something, so I'm out. I'm going. I spent all this money to be here. I'm finding something to do in the woods somewhere. You know, I'm a nature person. You know, I'm a nature guy. And when you get a chance to be independent in your thoughts, then that's the best time in the world, because you see things differently. Because then you're not looking at them for like, damn, what we gonna do? It's like, dang, this is what I'm doing. That's a big difference. That's a big flex. What's the word the kids use or everybody use now? That's a big flex. When you can travel and be independent traveling and not be alone traveling, that's a difference. That's a difference. The homegirl Ryan just took a bomb-ass trip independently. And she had to break it down to some folks. Like, nah, she ain't got no sugar daddy. She just planned her shit right. She did it right. You know? Exactly, Tory Lane. That's the one. Like, when you can do it independently and not be lonely or not be alone, that's a big flex. Click Shell said, doesn't this man have other friends, though? Yeah, he does have other friends, but he said this was his last one that was unmarried. So, like, the last your last single homeboy, right? Like, when you get down to the last one, because it's a different, like, you know, everybody can have girlfriends and all that kind of stuff, right? Because girlfriends can come, girlfriends can go. But it's a little harder to get, to move on from a wife or a husband. So, like, it's different between, like, being like, oh, okay, let's go out. This is my new girlfriend, or this is my friend, or, my friend of fit, or whatever the case may be, however you describe them. But when you got your last friend that you're the only one that ain't married, you literally the fifth wheel, the third wheel, the seventh wheel, whatever odd number wheel it is, because, yeah, you can bring a girlfriend, but everybody gonna be looking at you like, this a new one, this a new one, this a new one, But, I got a like I said, I got a couple homeboys that ain't married yet, but one of them been with this girl so long, they might as well be married. You know what I mean? But I think they gonna be next. Like I said, I think they gonna be next, and they gonna leave K Solo to be the last solo. But don't get me wrong, K Solo out there. He out there. He got he changed his profile. Solo changed his profile, so he ain't gonna be solo for so long. But I want to see how it's gonna be when it's the last homeboy that's gonna be about to get married. When the last one about to get married is gonna leave one left, oh man, it's gonna be different. But we're gonna be there to support. We got to be there to support each other, and again, embrace the transition, celebrate the transition, embrace the independence of being able to be by yourself, and working in that direction of being by yourself. Another thing, be ready to welcome the plus one. That's a new plus one. Like, we'll bring her along. What you say, Click Shell? He should go out. You say he should go out with them and wear a fake wedding ring. Some of these women look for married men. Man, listen. If I would have known that I would get more play wearing this ring than I get, like, man, sometimes you be feeling like you a rock star on stage and women throwing their panties at you, but metaphorically, because they get at you, they see it, because you know why? They be like, you're somebody that's stable, it's somebody that somebody else loves enough to be able to share their life with, and they want a part of it. They suck you by. They're suck you by, But, he don't have to go out wearing no fake wedding ring, because then he may mess around and block his blessing for somebody that he really want to be with. Go out and don't wear the wedding ring. And then I think that'll be a big flex too. Like to be cool with being in the situation. Like, yeah, it may not be all the time when you go out with the couples. Put that knife away. It may not go all the time out with the couples, But at the same time, if it's a time where y'all can all be out together, embrace that. Embrace the independence of it all. I used to be the single homeboy. Like, it was people in my clique. They all had boyfriends and girlfriends and stuff like that. But not me. Not me, though. I was the only single one in the crew for a minute, like, without a committed relationship. And, that was some years ago or what have you, but at the same time, I embraced it then. I didn't even think about all of that at the moment. I didn't look at it as being like, oh, man, I'm the only one. I ain't got nobody. Everybody got a girlfriend. Until everybody started taking pictures, taking pictures. But it was always a friend somewhere. I was everybody's wing, man, if that's the case, because I would make sure your friend don't feel alone either when they came as being your wing woman. I ain't going to let nobody feel left out. Not saying I'm smashing everybody like that, nothing like that. I'm saying I don't let everybody feel left out. I'm going to talk with you, converse with you, dance with you, pour you some drinks, talk to you like we having, we there for each other in some way. Because as the single friend, you going to get a lot of looks from all the other people, because people going to look at the groups. Whenever it's a group of, especially a group of beautiful people or nice looking couples or couples that just look happy. Couples that look happy draw the attention of other people. And if you the only person in that group that's not a plural, you single, everybody else plural, then you going to get some looks from all the, man, you mess around and find somebody that you really, really been looking for. Like, oh, you outside. Let me holler at you. And you confident in your independence. Click Shell said he's looking at it the wrong way. I bet some of his married friends wish they were single like him, which is, and that's probably true too. Now, I really couldn't go back into the dating. Like, I can't testify and say that would be me wishing I was single. Don't get me wrong. I wish I had the independence and freedom of some single people sometimes, meaning like, I wish I didn't have to care as much sometimes to just say, balls to the wall and just go and do things, but you got to be responsible. As a husband or as a wife, you can't just do all the things that your single ones did. They say, man, notifications not hitting. I know, Dak. That's what's up. I'm glad to see you in the building, Dakari. We always go back and watch the replay. And that's true, Click Shell. He may be looking at it the wrong way. And like some of his friends may wish they were single like him. But at the same time, he may be more like looking at it. He can look at it like I said before. He's now the catch of the crew because nobody's got him. He's the unicorn. You understand what I'm saying? What's up, Cole? Number one neighbor in the world. He's a unicorn now. He's a catch. He's single. He got his ish together, and hopefully out with the crew, and he got his ish together. Because then it looks better on you. Confidence looks good on you. Not conceit. I can't stand a person that's just full of theyself. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm confident as hell. But not cocky. I don't like cockiness. And cockiness ain't a good look. Confidence is, though, and having the confidence to embrace your independence now that you're the only single friend left, man, listen, walk with your shoulders back, chin parallel to the ground. I guarantee. What's up, sunshine? Let me recap for a couple people that's just joining with us. We still got a few minutes we can recap. Today's subject, we've got a groomsman. He said calls himself the conflicted groomsman. He feel like he losing his last wingman. The last homeboy, he's going to be the last one single. His friend's getting married, and he don't know how to tell him. He loves the fact that he's happy, but he can't say that he's happy for him. So he hit us up talking about, like, it's always been an unspoken pact between them that they wingmen for life, ride or die, right? Goose and Maverick. But now his wingman, the goose to his Maverick, is getting married. And though he's happy for him, he's not happy the fact that he's leaving him out in the cold, per se. He's not saying he's upset. So he just, he want to be able to stand by him on this big day with a genuine smile, but he feel like the conflicting emotions might show through. So he hit up the homie and asked me what I thought about it. So I told him a couple of things. I told him, first thing is to understand the fear that you're having is based off the fact that you're uncertain of how the relationship is going to evolve. Meaning, like, what evolution or what new beginning or what big change is going to come about, right? Because I said every new beginning doesn't mean the ending of the old. You just got to figure out how the old fits in with the new. Like, per se, like, what RCA jacks go with the back of the TV when you don't have an HDMI. I know I'm speaking a lot to the techies, and they understand me out there, right? So another thing you got to really understand is be able to celebrate the transition. Let his mans know, like, instead of focusing on what he might be losing, celebrate the love that his friend is having. Be able to communicate with him and tell him. Like, let him know, I'm thrilled for you, but I'm a little nostalgic about the old feelings. I'm still holding on to some of that. And it's okay to still hold on to some of that because that's part of the foundation of who the person is. And the other person, the wife-to-be, that's fell in love with some of that person too. So I'm pretty sure she don't want to change all of that herself either. She may want some of that to stay around, but there's certain things, when you were a child, you walked and behaved as a child. When you were a man, you put away your childish things, So it's certain things that he may have to leave by the wayside. He can't go out there and say, what up with the hoes? He can't say that no more. But he can rock with you like going to the game. Y'all can still hit the sports bar. Y'all can still go shoot pool. And another thing I told the conflicted groomsman is, when you communicate with him, be able to absorb the fact that what he's telling you about how he feels about the change in the relationship. Because it ain't just changing for you, it's changing for him too. But I also told him, be ready to embrace it, the new plus one. Get ready to make new memories. He's gaining a sister. He may be, hopefully. If it's smooth transition, then you gaining a new sister that's added on with your brother. And like a couple of the listeners and viewers said, you never know. She may have some fine ass friends. Another thing I told him is to embrace his independence. Be comfortable in the skin he's in. And that, the role in his friend's life may change, but that don't mean their friendship got to dissipate and disappear, But be comfortable with experiencing new things by himself. Travel places by himself. Do things by himself. Meet new people. Take new chances. Because this is a new metamorphosis in his life too. What is he going to come out the cocoon looking like? So that's kind of where we are right now. We talked about that, asking him, what other options do you have other than, some people say, well, maybe he's in love with the groom, something like that. But never know. He didn't say anything or imply anything like that, but you never know. Click Shell says the dating world sucks so bad. 1,000% do not recommend it. She don't recommend the dating world. I don't know how I will survive in the dating world, because it's different now. It's different. So, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure as I did prior to being plural, I embraced my independence and my singleness. The car says, she hooked me up with your girl. And the crazy thing is that we'll talk. I got some I've been thinking about hooking you up for the longest. Just saw her yesterday. Anyway, nevertheless, I digressed. Yeah, she our friend, and she live in the neighborhood. But yeah, so sometimes you got to be able to embrace that independence, and because that's a good look on you. And it's a good look for the friendship. It's a what's up, Cali twin? Jason in the building. What was I about to say? So it's a good look on you. Sunshine said the dating pool is horrible. I'm hearing that all around. I heard it is. I heard it's the pits out there in them streets. And I'm gonna pray for y'all. I am. I'm gonna pray for all y'all that's out there that's still dating. It is what it is. I get it. But at the same time, like, don't give up. Don't be a quitter out there. Know what you want and stand on it. Embrace your independence. Because, again, that independence is a look of confidence. It's a walk. You walk different when you're confident. It's a whole lot of different things going into it. So that's a good feeling to be independent like that. I'm just watching. I ain't even looking. I heard that. Just be a spectator. Voyeurism is a thing out there in them streets because some of us are exhibitionists. That might be a little off key or a little off tangent, but some of us are exhibitionists, and we need voyeurs in our lives in any capacity. Some people like being watched doing what they do. Why do you think I'm here on the camera right here? I love to talk, right? I love to be able to grab the microphone and captivate my audience if they'll let me. And it's on the camera nowadays. Everything is seen and visible, So embrace the independence in every area of your life. And that way, when other people see you, coming beside them, it's not like a competition. All it really is like, oh, he feels good about him. So if they around me, that means he feels good about being around me too. That's what I would think. I would think that. So anybody else out there that may be an conflicted groomsman, remember, embrace the fear of the change that's about to transpire in the relationship, the evolution of your friendship, right? Embrace that because it's going to evolve. It's going to change into something new because they're taking a new step in their life. Celebrate the transition. Make sure you celebrate them and big up them because people don't feel that enough. People be at your wedding, they be in pictures and they ain't even smiling for you. And you see then, but in the moment you don't feel it. And then and I told you, make sure one of the main things is even when you making new memories and all that kind of stuff, make one of those memories be that you call and check up on your friend, your newly married friend. Because everybody calls around the wedding, right? Everybody calls around the good time or the sad time. You know what I mean? Everybody calls then, but what about 90 days after? What about when the warranty then ran out on the congratulations? What about when the congratulations warranty has run out? Make sure you the person that's creating memories by checking in on them. Click Shell said maybe they can set a time aside every couple of weeks to hang out. It's easy to get busy with life and lose touch. And that's true. And that's what I said. Like, go shoot pool, go play golf, find some time to make sure that y'all still homies. Don't lose your friends. Denver. Okay, what up, Denver Brig? The topic today was, what do you do when you lose your wingman or wingwoman to marriage? Like, how do you embrace that? How do you let them know? And we talked about it. Celebrate the transition, communicate with them, embrace your independence, and get ready to make new memories. These are things that you got to be ready to do because that evolution is the new beginning. And again, my statement for today, my one-liner is a new beginning doesn't mean an ending of an old. Something beginning new doesn't mean the old has to end. So, again, I appreciate anybody who takes out the time to send me in letters or emails or text or even somebody called me and left me a message on my phone the other day. So make sure you hit me up at hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. That's HOLLAATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. And until next time, y'all holla at the homie in a minute.